Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel. Woohoo! Bang, bang, bang. Second live stream. This is a special live stream, and we're currently doing them during this exciting time. It's an exciting time for Zen, and of course, Zen's going to be on Pulsechain as well, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get into, of course, Jack Levin, a Zen founder there, responding, of course, to a question asked by someone in our very own community, very special to us, and of course, we like it. Our own star in our chat, and of course, well done to Shano there. What a legend! What a legend! Man, oh man, how did he become super famous in the community with one question? That's pretty awesome. So, a big shout out to Shano. What a legend! All right, so cool. All right, so we're going to get into. Obviously, we're going to talk. Have a couple of clips out of the Twitter Spaces with Jack Levin. We're not playing the whole thing. We're just going to have a couple of clips because obviously it's a couple hours long. We will post the link to the full Twitter space. You can go listen to that. There'll be lots of alpha in there, of course. Now, that's also on Jack Levin's YouTube channel as well, so you can go check that out. And I think including the original comment, original question there from a good old Shano. So well done. We're going to get into, obviously, have a look at some of the stats here. We're going to have a look at the prices at the moment, talk about some strategies. We're going to have to talk about some of the features and benefits into the Zen there. And of course, it's going to be on Pulsechain. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to look at some of the potential cross benefits between Zen and Pulsechain. And of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. So get into the chat, say hello, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Should I put another poll up? Let me know if you want a poll around Zen. Let me know about that in the house. It'll be pretty cool. Maybe we could do a poll about how Jack responds and what you think of that. How about that? It's pretty good. Now, this is a family channel and a no drama channel. So let's keep it pretty neutral. We like to keep that nice and friendly. So very cool. Brennan says stream number 2. Woohoo! I miss you. Hey, Brennan. Hey, you're the reason probably why I did this stream, because I was in two minds. But of course, here we are. Thanks, Brennan. Hex Down Under as well. Superman in the house. That's true. We've got Extremely Desirable. There will be Zen, PZen, and PZen, PPZen, and PZen is currently at 007. Currently, Zen is at 0003. So also, don't forget Hex is extremely desirable to be the wealthy. That is true. That is true. Extremely desirable. Well played there. Have the ducks been fed? Success Down Under. Yeah, the ducks have been put to bed. Pretty much that's the way it goes. AK's in the house, man. We've got a legend in the house there. Good to see AK. Woohoo! And nice to see AK there. Zen, yes, on fire. Grandad as well. G'day, Grandad, and always a pleasure. Mega Art as well. Good morning to you, DJ Bomber. Yo. Big ups from the UK. Hey, that's my big shout out to the UK, of course. Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. Big shout out to everybody just waking up in the morning there. What time is it? What time is it? It is 7:20 in the morning. So you're doing pretty well there, DJ Bomber. Shano in the house there. Woohoo! The man of the hour, good old Shano. Bam! From the Hex Token Discord there, dropping some bomb questions. And of course, man, it has amplified like a shockwave through the communities. It's pretty awesome. Well done, man. That's so awesome. Hex Fisherman says, has anyone else seen this giant airdrop to the whole community or anything about Pulse Kittens going viral on Twitter? I have seen Pulse Kittens, but I haven't done much on that one, Hex Fisherman. And Tony Starr says, in the house. Good to see you, Tony Starr. DB Cooper in the house said, what's up? Pulse now. Yes, dang it, says DB. So one day closer. We're going to look at that too, DB. We're going to look, obviously, at Richard Art's update about Pulsechain because that's basically indicating sooner than later to me. And, of course, maybe with the short V3. Let's see how we go. Marek Konex, a Kogut in the house there. Hello, Jack mentioned a couple of times that a Zen printed on Pulsechain testnet might rest on the mainnet there, says Marek. Nice one. And, of course, no warmongering in the chat, please. Yeah, just nice, peaceful chat, please. And of course, Merrick says on Pulsechain testnet. Yeah, cool. What else there? AK's in the house there. 2023 will be hyperinflation phase for Zen. Supply will be bought up and redistributed to buyers who, do not want to mint and wait. So they buy your time spent at a premium, and of course, mint be cost to the gas. Yeah, mint waste related to the gas cost. That's true. Yeah, well done there on AK. I said AK was going to bring some alpha for us. Nice to see OK in the house there. Poll for Pulse launch November, December, January, February. Yeah, that kind of fits pretty well. Let's put that in there for the time being. Pulsechain launch. Now, it may not hit any of these dates, but we're going to do the let's launch guesstimate. Let's put a guesstimate on there. And of course, let's see. Well, that's a good one. Actually, we haven't done that for a while. November. Let's see. I guess that's obvious. That's this year. December. I should probably put 2022 because there'll be some funny people that trying to make jokes there. 2022, and of course, what else there? December 22. We got October now, haven't we? October, November. Man, are we in October? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're October. Yeah, it's October. Damn, it's October. Dang it. All right, so January 2023. And what was the last one? February. Yeah, let's do February. Why not? February 2023. Cool. That is Pulsechain launch guesstimate. Let's go. All right, cool. What else there? We've got Brennan says, "Hi, thanks, Superman. I was itching at the bit for another stream. Nice one, Brennan. Always a pleasure." And DJ Bomber says 7.21. Says DJ Bomber 7.21. I'm just trying to think about that. Hey, Super Kung Fu Tech Fu in the house. Good to see you in the house. Been a while, Kung Fu Tech. Kung Tech Fu. DJ Bomber says, "On my way to work." Nice one. Have a great day at work, and obviously enjoy the content on the way. That's the way it goes. We got Pot of Gold in house. Hey, good to see you. Jack is just speaking unpleasant truth, says Pot of Gold. I don't know about that. I think that he's just was being a matter of fact, but we're going to look at that in a second. So, yeah. AK's in house there. So that's when price will slowly start consolidating and going back up after this supply dump and redistribution is complete. New buyers will hodl and stake their Zen. Cool. Nice one there from AK. Definitely listen to AK. He's pretty good at this stuff, so definitely worth considering them. Jonathan Campala now say it's a beautiful night, y'all. Good to see Jonathan as always. Briz is in the house. Hey, everybody. Woo! Is it October yet? Apparently it is, Briz. It took me by surprise. Apparently it's like, 11 days into it, for goodness sake. AK says, so mint your Zen and max day terms, ending Sundays ideally. Hodl and stake. Fast forward 3 years from now. You would be hating yourself if you sold too early, says AK. And of course, Brendan says, how do you spell February, Superman? I don't know. Did I misspell it again? I rushed it, for goodness sake. February. Yeah, sorry about that. That's an accident. That was an accident. Oh, Brendan, you're calling me out, man. You're calling me out. You got me good this time. Good evening, or hope you have a great day, says DVD. True. Check poll, says Brent. Yeah, well, it's too late. I can't change it now. It's February 2023. Everyone's going to have to use some a reinterpretation of that word. All right, so let's have a quick look at where we're going to go. Let's have a look at the dashboard results, and then we will have a look at Jack responding to Shano, which is pretty cool. We couldn't remember who it was that asked him, but we all know because we were talking about it earlier today. Smash out that poll. We got 13 votes already. Pulsechain launch guesstimate. It's just a guesstimate, and of course we'll pay some of those videos. Might help you along with that later. A global rank 582,603. Pretty good, right? Active stake is still modest at the moment, 429. Obviously, most people are, a lot of people are minting out further. We've got Genesis Day has moved to day 3 now. So we're obviously in day 4. And there we are. I guess it's we're in day 4. I guess so, yeah. Day 4. Total supply there, excuse me. That's my singing voice. Total supply there is 5.5 billion, and most of it is liquid. We only got 54 million staked at the moment. That's just the way it goes. Max term days, 387. Now that's moved up 1 since our live stream earlier today. I think it's 1, is it? Moved up 1, yeah, 386. Now that's going slower, but of course, once we reach about 1 million on the global rank, that will get to 400 days, which is kind of the max out period. So obviously, that's actually a good benefit to you because you'll be earning you'll be minting all that way out to those 400 days. It's pretty nice. The amplifier, of course, here is going to go down by 1 per day over 8 years. So it's going to take a long time for that to like a slow burn. The EAA there, the early adoption amplifier, is going down by 0.1% for every 100,000 wallets. So the next one's coming up pretty shortly. We may even hit it during the live stream. You just never know if we get a pickup in the old rates there, old minting rates. We might see that during the live stream. You never know. And of course, we're currently at 9.5%. Once we hit 10 million wallets, that will be 0. So the early adoption amplifier there, what I saw it, the early adopter amplifier or early adoption amplifier. Yeah, there we are. And that will be 0. Now the APY is starting off at 20% for the first 90 days, then goes down by 1%. So if you don't stake it, you're going to lose the benefit there if you come out within those 90 days. So remember that. So that's pretty much the highlights there. I think that's probably it. Let's jump over to the price and have a look at that. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Obviously, it's starting to level off a little bit here, but of course, probably still quite a bit of volume out there at the moment. So at the moment, 0002675. We did have a little bounce back, but they got eaten up, and so that's been sold down again here at 00026. Now, I think we have one of our very own pricing gurus in the chat. Posted something a bit earlier on that, and just bought some Zen, looking cheap, and of course it's got some numbers here with the Fibonacci there, 0003 and so on. What's that? 0002. So some interesting numbers there for the pivot. So cool. It looks like 0.21, 0.22 there is perfect entry. $200 will get you about 100,000 Zen at the moment. What a bargain there. So we'll be watching this. It has sort of tapered out here a little bit here. Lost a little bit of energy, and of course, if we look at our minting database, we can see that. Let's go through here. We can see the 30-day mint period. We can see one day was pretty popular, but of course, within 30 days, really does seem to level off in these. So if we interpret these, that obviously it's going to ease off a little bit there, but we've got this big volume that people were doing one-day mints. So we've had a lot of this. Obviously, a lot of bots and coders are setting that up. And, of course, is where we're at the moment. So pretty big amounts. 1 day, 28%. 2-3 days, 26%. And, of course, what else? I think that's kind of at there. So let me just go. We got the 1 to 30 day. Doesn't have that on here, actually. 2 to 30. Does it have 2 to 30 days? 3 to 30 days. 3 to 30 days. No, I can't even see that on there, actually. So, yeah, it looks like it'll probably taper off a bit after a couple of days. So we'll see where this goes to from here. May very well taper off there a little bit there. And, of course, the Gwei at the moment, 29 Gwei. And, of course, the Zen contract still number one with the number one little medal there, 34% over the last 24 hours, 32% in the last 3 hours. We're at 1.6 million still. 180 there. So still a big contributor, massive contributor to the gas price during the week. Now we've moved away from the weekend into the working week. And of course, it stayed pretty elevated there. All right, so cool. A lot of people obviously taking the strategy maybe in the future of this weekend, minting in a weekend and less in the week. But hey, look, these gas fees have been a bit lower during the week, actually. It's kind of worked out the opposite way since the launch. We'll see what next weekend is like. And of course, some people probably just keep averaging in the weekends there, particularly as the max day heads towards 400. So that's kind of that at this stage. Now, quickly before we do something, we're going to quickly go to the Zen here. There's quite a few people asking me about this, so we're going to head this off straight off out the bat there. And of course, we're talking about when your mint actually matures. So when your mint matures, you need to claim it because you will face these penalties. So if you're wondering what that is, if that's you out there wondering about this, when it matures, you're going to get zero penalty if you claim it that day. Now, remember, you get the different gas fees. So you get a gas fee for doing the mint and getting in the mint phase, and however you set the days of how long that's going to be. And of course, when you claim, you got a gas fee for that too. So that's your second gas fee. Now, if you're deciding to hold it, then it just sits in your wallet. If you're deciding to stake it, you're going to have a gas fee. If you are deciding to sell it, then you're going to have to approve the tokens. There's a little gas fee there, and you're also going to have a swap fee. So just remember, there's a few fees there for each wallet. So you're going to need some gas. And of course, if you staked out very long, you're probably not too worried about that, but you might want to have some gas there available for that in the future when it happens. But in any case, if you miss day when it matures, day one, after 1 day, you're going to get 1% penalty. After two days, you get 3% penalty. 3 days, 8%. 4 days, you're going to get 17% penalty. After 5 days, you get 35% if you haven't claimed it already once it matures through that minting phase. And of course, 6 days, 72%. If you are a week behind after it matures, let's say you did 100 days and then it's 107 days, you're going to lose the whole lot of the mint. So don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so make sure that you put it in your diary or something like that and title your account in the wallet. So obviously, wallet has its own seed phrase. Within that wallet, you can make many accounts in that. And of course, those accounts are all different Ethereum addresses. And of course, you can claim you can do mint phases on each of those accounts. when you actually claim a mint as well, you can actually, with that same account, you can actually mint again using that same account. So it's pretty cool like that. And as opposed to making up a whole separate wallet with new seed phrases there. So you can do that. So it's a pretty nice clarification. We talked about that today in one of our discussions. So hopefully that's a bit easier to understand. So that's pretty cool. This is the white paper. All these links, by the way, are in our Discord. Hex Token Discord is in the link below. And of course, you can go to new token links. Just scroll down to Zen free claim. And of course, you'll see the official Zen contract, the Uniswap prices, the MEXC exchange as well. Now, obviously, there's a couple more exchanges now. There's Gate and Huobi and was it iBank or something like that. So there's a couple of new ones now. The official sites, of course, are here, including all the stuff you need. The Zen Network, of course, the main website. The white paper that we just showed, the Zen calculator, and of course, Jack Levin's Twitter and things like that. So everything's there. I got some introduction videos as well. If you want to look at those, if you're new to crypto, that might be useful for you, and some notes there as well. So some of the cool stuff there. Hopefully that helps you there as well. So very cool. Let's get back into the chat. And of course, I'm going to refresh this. That's kind of an overview of the things we're going to get into Jack stuff now. Obviously, Jack had a big Twitter space, so we're going to talk about that as well. So let's get into that one. Before we do that, we're going to go catch up in the chats. Let's see who else is there. What else there? We'll jump through that. Yeah, go through all that. Bros says February, Hex, and Hedron says, Bros, nice one, Bros. I knew you would make the most of that. Tony Starr in the house, and Pots of Gold says, gotta love bear market brawls, lol, says Pot of Gold. And Brazil says, how do we convince Ukraine to mint Zen instead of taking money from the US government? That's a good question there. Too early, maybe by World War V. Yeah, that's true. It seems like every 100 years, we always come around to a World War type thing. Check my pulse says, what's up, y'all? Alrighty, Zen says, check my pulse. How long is the minting phase? How long as you make it there? Check my pulse. Now, the max will probably be around 400 days there once we get up to 1 million wallets. So it's slowly climbing there. Hex Down Under says, wonder what the Gwei will be when the first 100 days is over and when we all mint. Another race to be first. Yeah. Well, I never did 100 days. I did like 98 days. Instead of 300 days, like 298 days, things like that. So for my longer ones, I did slightly front run some of those periods. Pot of Gold says it's a great onboard for no coiners. That's the point of it. Not necessarily to make fiat, sure gas, but it's the cost of learning and onboarding. I definitely think that's definitely an aspect of a Pot of Gold. So I'd agree with you on that one. Certainly having a big impact there. Hex Down Under says, I'm going 1,000 days and forgetting about will be the future Easter egg. So that's for the staking, maximum staking there, 1,000 days. And of course, you want to get in before the rates go down. What else there? Property Review says, nice show. Hey, thanks, Property Review. Appreciate that. Hex Down says, I never forget, once I sell my pulse on a double, I'll need the money. Says, you're selling on a double? What? Yeah, come on, man. Pulse is going to be bolting out of the gate. It's going to be so good. All right, so cool. Get into the poll, folks. We've got 36 votes. Which Pulsechain launch guesstimate? November, December, January, or February? Let's go for gold. May end up being neither of those, but hopefully it's one of them. That'd be pretty exciting. All right, cool. Let's get into it. So Jack responds. Obviously, one of our members asked Jack just a simple question. And so let's get into it. Let's hear from Jack on the Twitter space earlier today, which actually is over here. So we got a Twitter space. It was 1 hour ago, finished up here by Jack Levin on the Twitter space. And of course, this is the one here. So I'm going to post that in the chat if you want to watch the full thing. We're not watching the full thing. We're just going to be just clip a few things out of here at the beginning. Let's listen to Jack responds to the question about Richard Hart, Hex, and OA and scam and stuff like that.
Sheila asks, can you explain why you waited after your project launched to be critical of Richard Hart finished product Hex? And then somebody else replies, what did he say that wasn't true? I'm being serious. I'm just learning about this. Yeah, there was some controversy with the voice chat, and a lot of people are freaking out. Someone asked me on the voice chat on the Telegram, what do I think? What can change Richard's perception of being a scammer? And the first thing I said, and I think I talked about Pulsechain a little bit, I said, there's no scamminess activity that I can see anywhere. And so unless Pulsechain does something really bad to either the community or the people who are building on it, or just anything to do with economic energy, then I am fully supporting Pulsechain. But hey, if something terrible happens, then I don't have any rosy glasses on. I'll be critical of it if something does happen. Now, on the response of I made the response where I said nobody will be hating Richard or calling him a scammer, a potential scammer, if he reduces the risk of losing the original address, or somebody stealing the keys from him and then dumping away on the community's heads. And I also mentioned that he could be himself be scammed and be called a scammer involuntarily should that happen. And so my suggestion is that one of the ways to get rid of that factor is just to burn the OA. And I do obviously realize that OA is linked to the total supply of Hex, and that's how the yield is generated. But the question wasn't about the yield. The question was about Richard Hart's being perceived as a scammer by everybody outside of the Hexagon community. And I basically said, look, that's an issue. Everybody talks about the OA. I mean, people may understand or not understand what is the mechanics of the OA, but the risk is there. And one of the ways to get rid of that risk is to publicly get rid of it. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do for Richard, for community, or Hex price, or Hex yield. That was my response to a direct question of how I feel the risk could be removed from Richard being continuously attacked from outside for people who do not understand what he's all about. So that was my answer, and hopefully it explains a few things.
All right, so that there was his explanation. It gave context around what he said, and I had really largely no problem with it. I mean, there's a few subtleties there that I'd probably change a little bit there, like the fact that Hex has already been around for 3 years. They've always been operating the product is pretty amazing the way it operates, and it gives you a pretty amazing yield over a long period of time. So I think the way the pump and metal is structured are pretty amazing. Now, on terms of Hex is coming up to its 30th birthday, so I kind of feel like none of the nuances there, perhaps we might say, have a lot of people not even talk about these days. There's still some people out there, but in exchanges, obviously, got some of the blocks. But apart from that, the products just keeps going and going and going, which I think is pretty neat. So I thought for the most part it was fine. He was directly answering a question there, and it gave more context around it, which I think was a better way of answering the question. So yeah, that's pretty much it. DB Cooper says, so burn all the tokens and be at the mercy of some other whales in charge to dump or destroy. Yeah, like that. Those were the subtleties, but I think he was saying that may or may not be a good thing. He wasn't saying that, but actually just on the OA and the scam side of it. So everyone does always go on about the OA. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, no point for me, no issue for me. And I think that a lot of people have just stopped talking about that over the time. So the OA its actions have just always been supportive for the project and the stakers. As I've said many times, I always see the OA like an operational manager. And, the big payday, it went and staked, and of course it predicted the yield and the inflation from for the community. I think there was a bit of play and a bit of trade-off. Of course, people have talked about other things around liquidity and other activities. Obviously, staking as well has reduced inflation. Penalties reduce inflation. So those mechanisms are working beautifully, in my opinion. So, I think that's kind of it. I thought it was a better clarification, though, with the context. I had really no point of it if he is answering just specifically that question. Originally, that wasn't as clear. So it looked like it was more of just a blunt attack on, Hex, the OA, the sort of Richard Hart, the crypto. But that there makes it a lot clearer from my point. Let me know in the chat what you think. And Katie says, did you guys know Archer is known as the Spam King? Says Katie, that's true. Yeah. And of course, we talked about that in another video on the Fox News, where Richard says that's because it's way back when I had this, was it a $200 court case or something? DJ Bomber says, I'll be open to listening about the OA when it sells just one token, says DJ. Yeah, true that. Hi, all. Glad to catch up some Hex token while working in the Aussie bush. Hey, Blobfish King. And I hope you're keeping cool out there in the hot Aussie air there. Is it a bit hotter now? Maybe it is in the bush. Pot of Gold says, I believe there's another answer later in the spaces where he goes into further detail, but it is what it is. Yeah. Hey, Pot of Gold, I haven't played the whole thing. I didn't want to, it's an hour long or so. I just wanted to get some of the tidbits out there, but he probably does talk about it again. So I haven't listened to the whole thing myself. It's an hour and 38 minutes. but you can, I've posted the links in there for that. We're just looking at two particular topics, and of course, listen to the full thing for a few bit more insight into that. Let's get into the second part, of course, is that Zen will be on Pulsechain. Someone asked him about this shortly after this question. In fact, immediately after this question, he was asked about the Pulsechain. So let's listen to that.
I got another question. So hypothetically, if and when Pulsechain launches, let's just take the testnet for an example. Zen's going to benefit from that, and the users are going to benefit from that. Is that right? I mean, and for me, I'm kind of learning right now that, what Richard is claiming to do with Pulsechain, I mean, that's going to be unbelievable because, I don't like paying these $7 gas fees or anything like that. I don't think anyone really does. And I mean, the high of 10, maybe 15. But I mean, do you think that, Pulsechain is going to benefit Zen and vice versa?
So I think Zen will benefit Pulsechain just because it will have all of the new addresses that are being created and new users are coming in. So there's a lot of users out there who are not necessarily coming from the Hex Token community. There's lots of other communities that are talking about this right now. Zen is extremely visible. And when Pulsechain launches and there's a copy of Zen on Pulsechain, then all those new people that got attracted to Zen will have a benefit of using and exploring Pulsechain. So I think it's extremely positive and bullish for Pulsechain.
So yeah, I would agree with that too. So I have no issue with that. That's pretty cool too. Bob Varda says, OA burns all tokens. Do you honestly believe that people would change their opinion of Richard as a scammer? No, Bob Varda. No, they wouldn't. So what else there? I believe this. Yeah, I've talked about that one. Kung Tech Fu says, no time to talk. Still minting Zen on Wallet 18, says Kung Tech Fu. Oh, a nice one there. All right, so cool. Let me know in the chat. So there's the full video. Check it out on the Twitter space. I think you'll probably hear a lot more than I've just played. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, so you go for gold on that. I just want to pick out those two particular stuff that I heard at the beginning. So cool. Now, the other thing, of course, we do have a timestamp here in new token chats. We've got the old still famous there. That is the timestamp there. I had to post that in the chat, though. Pretty funny on that one. So cool. All right, let's jump over to the results and see where we are at the moment. Let's jump back to the actual screen. That'll probably be helpful too. Let me get rid of that comment, but keep up the minting there, Kung Tech Fu. So cool. Global rank 584,000. So we're definitely heading up there. You never know. We may do it during the live stream. Get into the EAA down to 9.4. We like to have little milestones on this channel. That's pretty much it. But little liquid supply, 5.6 billion there. So let's see how it goes. Just early days too. Will be day four, is it? Day 4? Something like that. So cool. Now the price cut here, 0002574. Man, oh man, you remember when it launched and we saw the price up here at 1.5 cents? I couldn't believe it. We were watching it up here. I was like, oh my gosh, that's just insane. And of course, down it come. We expected it to come down, but when it launched at this price, I was like, wow, that's amazing. And it came down there. It actually came down here slower than I expected. It's pretty much at 0000257 at the moment. But as I say, maybe some of these mint day phases are going to slow that down, plus the gas fee as well. So obviously 1 day's less not economic pace at this price, and maybe 2 days, 3 days are more economic as you start to get in there. So that kind of a interesting little strategy there in terms of the number of days that you've got to mint for and coming out relative to the price. Don't forget, you got the mint the Zen, claim the Zen, and of course, if you're just going to sell it, you've got to prove the Zen and then swap the Zen. So it's 4 transactions. If you're going to, of course, stake, that's a different story. But if you're going to stake, then why do such a short period, right? You're going to just mint far out because there's no point. You might as well just mint out there, and you'll have all these wallets coming in behind you. I think that's a much better play. So cool. Now there is the Zen calculator, and of course that's here. You can plug in all the details for that, and of course work out everything. The only problem with the calculator is that the EAA there doesn't go down by percentage points, but it's I guess it's not going to be too dramatic in terms of the impact on that particular one, not 1%. You just got to remember that. The AMP, of course, is going down. So if you actually had the AMP here is at 2998, so you can put that in there. 2998. New users, of course, is massive, right? 584272. I mean, it's pretty insane in the membrane. Pretty crazy stuff there. 584272. 58. Oh, that's the wrong one there. I'm putting in the wrong one there. 5584. What did I say? 272. And so on. So cool. This is still at 10, but of course it's 9.5. So you can see the difference there. And of course the mint day there. We got the max mint day now is 387. So let me go 387. 387. Obviously, you can do this on the mint page. It will just have the maximum mint page there. But it's suggesting 24,448. Obviously, as the more wallets go in there, you're going to get that number's going to go up. And so that's pretty cool. You're going to bag this right now, the better rate. Obviously, if it's slightly less, then you can see the adjustment there on the EAA as we head towards 9%. So definitely pretty cool. Now you can find all these links, as I say, in the new token links there under the Zen free claim. So you can see all those links there. That's pretty cool. We've got the calculator there, so cool. The white paper is this one here. Jack's Twitter there, which is this one here, is Jack's Twitter. And of course, the Zen network is the official site here. And you can connect your wallet. Go to the mint page. It's going to default with the maximum days. This will end up being 400. And once you reach 1 million wallets, and then of course you can just start minting there. Like I say, for me, this is more entertainment, more of a punt. I know that some people take it more seriously, and of course, the longer, if you take more seriously, then generally, unless you're playing a very clever short game, which was definitely day one, and maybe a longer time frame than 1 day. 1 day is not economic, so you'd have to think about if you're playing a short game, it would have to be longer than that. So yeah. And of course, if you're playing the long game, then obviously longer pays better. Pretty much it. So mint at 387. Now this is going to reach to 400, and so people are going to be doing that. Some people might be minting every week, every day, and of course we've got Kung Tech Fu there minting right now. This is the way it goes. All right, so cool. Let's go back up to here. The staking page, of course, is over here, and of course you can buy Zen to stake as well. You can mint it as well, but yeah, you decide what's good for you. Chris A says wrecking Hex by burning the away is a stupid answer to moving the dumb and wrong scam acquisitions. Well, he did say that he wasn't answering that particular question, but the fact that he made that at all, I agree with you, Chris A. It's not smart of you. I wouldn't have just said it in the first place. I think he was taken a little bit off guard, possibly with the question at the time. Hey folks, seeing I'm not a scammer, but I wreck the product. Stupid answer, says Chris A. And of course, Hex Down Under said, well said, Superman, all these haters will change their tune if Pulse gets them 100, 1,000, 2,000x. You true that. Where else can you invest money and get these returns? It's all worth the risk. Yeah. Hey, Pulsechain, this is a massive ecosystem. So I did put that tweet out. I don't know if you see my tweet. I got asked the question around Richard Hart's update. And so Richard Hart obviously updated us with the Pulsechain. We'll just quickly look at that. Make sure of is this the one? Maybe is this the one here? I think it's this one here. No, not that one.
Asks, can you explain why you waited after you?
That's not that one. So let me pull this up. Hey, it's a big Superman. Big Superman there. Where did I put this one? Here it is here.
I feel that these security considerations for Pulsechain's consensus strength are very, 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 very similar to Ethereum 2.0's. If that makes sense to you.
Makes sense.
We're forking Ethereum 2.0, not Ethereum 1.0. So you beat it out of me, you fucks. You wore me down, okay? So the logic was, do we have more faith in the BSC consensus, which we found flaws in, or rotating to several other options of not very well audited consensus, or the extremely well audited Ethereum 2.0 consensus? And my logic is that if you're going to make things right, doing them during a bear is a beautiful time to do it. And I think it will be quicker to use Ethereum 2.0's consensus than to properly audit and secure Corellia, which is a version of Click, which is what has a lot of problems. And so it was maximum secure and minimum time to market, because we didn't know, like, you didn't know whether the merge was going to work right. Could have not worked right. And you didn't know if they'd ever get to doing it because the delays were nearly endless.
Yep.
But after they did it, and after it worked right, it was the obvious choice. And so Pulsechain will have upgrades, but be primarily the same consensus mechanism that Ethereum 2.0 uses, but is now called Ethereum 1, right? Like, no one called it's not. Right. Ethereum 2 is now Ethereum 1 since the merge worked. So it's strong. It's safer, it's faster, and any upgrades that come in the future for Ethereum, such as sharding, we will get on our chain, and we wouldn't have got had we stayed with Ethereum 1, because the forks would have diverged. And so it's just better. So we're doing what's better, and it didn't take us any extra time to do it. So it's actually good news. But I got savaged so hard for giving you guys an update last time that, like, I'm super not into it. Like, I feel like someone's gonna make me eat shit for giving the good news basically now. I bet someone will. Someone will bother me and make me feel bad. Someone will make me feel bad about you.
Bro, you got so many followers though, and I'm starting to feel
we
this
will
too. You
attack
got so many
quick.
followers.
So that's pretty good news, because that means that obviously they're just going to go with the ETH 2.0 proof of stake and then fork that. And I think that's pretty good. That would still give them control over like S-loads functions and things like that, which I guess it'll be interesting to see how the play there. Domination goes, obviously. So it's going to be fun. That's going to have potentially ramifications for the OA as well, OA Sacrifice. So it's going to be pretty fun to see that. I think that having more control over the S-load function for Hex is going to be pretty cool too. Be interesting to see what we see around that as well. Obviously, that has ramifications also for, as David Feder put out the other day, the validated consensus. And so that was disappointing for him. But I think it's actually going to be quicker to market, good secure and stuff like that. Be interesting to see what other operational enhancements they'll able to do with that. Obviously, the magic sauce is really not just having super fast, super cheap chain that's forking Ethereum, but also having the whole ecosystem around it. So I've tweeted out a response to something about that to Sarah Corvus. I'm very excited about what's built on top. Pulsechain ecosystem vertical integration, best tokenomics, because that's what we see. We see that obviously with PulseX with a lot of the best projects. So maybe half of the projects are really good that we've seen so far native to Pulsechain, and half are not so good. So you can decide. I don't talk about a lot of the ones that aren't so good. So people mention them all the time, but I don't really talk about them. And of course, Epic community. We've got an incredible community that's growing and growing all the time. And of course, PulseX buy and burn, AMM money printer, and of course, the airdrop's biggest in crypto history will still be the biggest, and stable coins on ramp, off ramps as well. So pretty amazing. I've got 120 plus native projects and billionaires building like Rack and Rochelle. So it's pretty badass from that point of view. So some cool stuff there. All right, let's get into it. We've got a couple more comments. Check my pulse says, how will Zen work if people are minting? Let me just jump away from that comment there. How will people, let me just go back to here as well. Let's do a refresh. I'll get onto that question there. Check my pulse. Very cool. Welcome, of course. Don't forget to get in our poll. We've got a poll about Pulsechain launch guesstimate November, December, January, or February. February is just misspelt, so feel free to make jokes about that. Brazology has already, and a few others. Brennan has as well. There we are. 585,964. We're going to head. Will we hit 600 during the live stream? I don't know. It depends on how far we're streaming there. Definitely, once we do reach 600,000, this is going to get to 9.6%. 9.4% on the EAA, and the max term is slowly going up towards. Once you get to about 1 million, that will end up at 400 max term days. So when you go to mint, the default will be 400, and that will be pretty much maxed out, as I understand it, on the chart. And of course, you can see that on the white paper, which is here, and I think it's up the top here. Here it is here. So currently, we're going to head towards around about 1 million or so. I guess that's kind of 1 million in here, and it may be slightly higher, but that's kind of where we are at 400 mint term days. So currently, we're coming up here. So we're in here. So you can sort of see how it sort of slows down, takes a little bit longer to get to as we move up, because it was pretty fast through here. We're climbing the term days really fast through here. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice. All right, what else there? Yeah, so hey, look, it may not work. It's certainly doing the idea of making lots of wallets. How many wallets per people are in there? Another question, of course, is we do see a lot of people from, if you look at the website analytics, Google Analytics, you can see a lot of people from Europe, heaps of people from Europe minting, heaps of people from the North America minting, heaps of people from Asia minting, China, Indonesia, I think, and is it the Philippines, somewhere like that. Seems to be a lot of people in that. Jack Levin's been feeding that his website analytics on there. It's also caused a little controversy in terms of people hitting the website with their computer IDs and, of course, VPNs and, of course, sacrifices. So that's caused a little bit of drama. But yeah, it's we've got lots of people minting all over the place. So it looks pretty global, actually. But then, of course, a lot of people are minting multiple wallets. There's bots and coders doing things like that. There is a limit to that in terms of gas fees. You got a lot of gas fees, as I said. You got to mint, and then you got to claim. You got to, if you're going to sell, you got to approve, and then you got to, obviously you have to do that once, of course, on a particular account in your wallet, and then of course you got to swap if you're going to do that. Those are the short play. We've seen the short game. The best short game was day one, and of course, obviously one day is not that economic. It's not economic at the moment, so obviously people will have to mint for longer than that if they're trying to play the short game. Obviously, a lot of people are minting a long period of time, so that's the way it goes. Now, Check My Pulse says, how will Zen work if people are minting tons of wallets and dumping? Well, in the short term, obviously, we see the price going down, which is what we're seeing there. So that's where's the price there? We've got a green candle at the moment on the 1 hourly, so you're getting a few little green candles in the mix. And so far, here we are at this stage. So, well, look, we had someone there to spend $3,600. Bought 13.8 million there. And the Gwei at the moment 27. And of course, this here is probably the best indicator for me, is this little chart here. Is we've got different claim terms here. So we've got a lot of people that were doing 158,000 accounts here. The start is a little lagged, I think, but 158,000 on the day one mints. 2 day mints were 18,000 so far. 3 days, 30,000, etc. But it really slows down on the 7-8 days. So it's going to be an interesting period all the way through to 30 days. Got a lot of people not doing so many there. Now, I think this is an aggregation of people's minting on a particular day as opposed to a time series, which would be much more useful. So just remember that. I think that's what how I'm interpreting that. And we got token amount minted hourly. So I think this is over the length here. So some real big volatility in terms of the amounts. This is the amount that's, I guess, going forward. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to interpret this, but currently up at 4.88 billion on this chart. So yeah, a little bit vague on that. Have to see what they're actually drawing there. Users minted Zen token hourly as well. Yeah, you need a little bit more data behind that. It's not completely up. Have to think about that. New users hourly here on the claim rank. Now, this is probably the most interesting one here at the moment. We definitely had a pullback after the weekend in the number of wallets per hour. So that seems to indicate that we haven't been climbing as fast, of course. We were up at hours. We had 13,000, 14,000. It was climbing pretty fast. And the orange line is the total. What's it at the moment? So, yeah, 556,000 there. But definitely the amount per hour has slowed down here. We're down at like 2,500 here. We have picked up a little bit, 9,000 back down there as well. on October the 11th. So that's cool. Now the different claim term days, term days count, obviously a lot in day one, 157,000 counts, almost 158. Day 2 to 3 was 147. So that's why we've seen a lot of volume coming out. And of course, that ended up being an avalanche or tsunami. And of course, look what the result is on this chart. The short play, a lot of accounts with multiple accounts there. Obviously, some bot stuff there as well. But of course, I guess I don't know how much of a limit some of them have in terms of the gas payments. That's another thing, food for thought. What else we got here? So 30 to 6 days. I think this is this one here. This is the shorter period. So I think that's related to this chart here in terms of shorter period. We've got all longer periods here. And 300 to 360 days, obviously huge as we've been getting bigger and more and more people have been doing the long play here, which is what 8K was talking about, doing the long play. And of course, we're going to max out at 400 days there. 60 to 90 days, not too bad as well. I think there's quite a good play inside the 6 to 30 days for a short game, particularly now that 1 day is not economic based on my spreadsheets. So make sure you do that. You have all the costs in there. And definitely 1 day mint's not economic at the moment at the current price of 000256. All right, cool. What else there? So it's a speculation experiment. It's a bit of entertainment for me, and obviously we'll see how it gets on. Brendan says, did Jack create Zen to incentivize people to delay gratification, or just onboard new people? What was his game plan? And of course, we can actually see that on the actual document here on the white paper. I've actually skipped a lot of that on the white paper, to be honest, because it was more entertainment there. What does the Zen problem solve? Today's crypto world exists in a very bipolar plane, and namely the well-known cryptocurrencies are overbought, pumped, and subsequently sold off. The unknown cryptocurrencies often left undiscovered for a long time by genuine investors while suffering from premium mining and wealth accumulation by the founding teams. Zen aims to solve both problems through a fair launch. So there we are. Tokenomics, of course, what makes it unique? Zen cryptocurrency is free. Well, it's not really free because it costs gas, right? It costs a number of gas transactions. Participants deposit their funds, start minting. It might be close to free on the BSC and Polygon chain, but not on Ethereum there. Zen starts with zero supply and will only be minted by the community. Zen does not have a maximum cap on the supply. It is inflationary in the beginning. So that's the key bit there, inflationary in the beginning. Becoming disinflationary as adoption increases. So that's the key thing there, getting this virality, this network effect. That's what it's trying to do there. Zen is a digital asset, and so far that's playing out. All right, we've seen that's pretty impressive so far. Zen is a digital asset which has no backing by investors or starts with any intrinsic value. And I guess the best argument for the fact is obviously we're getting a lot of accounts per people, but are we getting more users? And I guess the best example of that is probably is Google Analytics, showing how people from around the world getting involved. Zen is mutable and cannot be changed or stopped by anybody. Some people ask whether he could shorten the 8 years on the amplifier, but of course it is immutable and cannot be changed. With its open source code, it's truly trustless. Zen does not have any controlling or management team. It is simply a segment of immutable code. Zen is neither a proof of stake or proof of work token. However, if it is a proof of participation in crypto, whoever participates in Zen creation has full rights over ownership through self-custody. Zen smart contract uses a fair system of new token distribution. All participants are subject to the same immutable rules. Zen continuously manages token rewards through minting, base rewards and time locks, etc. And generally, all cryptocurrency must be purchased or exchanged with other cryptocurrencies in the open market. Zen does not require purchasing, as anyone on the Ethereum network can mint their own Zen tokens by connecting their compatible wallets. So that's pretty much it. All right, so cool. I think there's anything else in there. The mission: Zen aims to become a community building crypto asset that connects like-minded people. If you are a seasoned OG or simply crypto curious, Zen has the lowest barrier to entry through its unique tokenomics. Fair Crypto Foundation is designing Zen as a universal cryptocurrency to achieve the original mission of the blockchain, following the blockchain tenets of decentralization, transparency, counterparty risk, resistance to peer-to-peer value exchange, and self-custody. Its unique tokenomics focuses on the mass market adoption with the lowest barrier to entry compared to the rest of coins on the market today. So that's where we're at the moment. Obviously, massive inflation, and the price is showing that in the short term as a short-term players on. But of course, a lot of people are minting that much further out, which we've seen on we've seen it on here. We see all these data posts here. Now they've added a lot of charts to this dashboard, so it's pretty huge. I'll post this in the chat there, but that is in our Discord if you want to check that out. Definitely do that. Chris A says people calling Hex a scam sound like dumber and dumber over time. Absolutely, Chris D. A. Absolutely. And of course, it's primarily designed for onboarding no coiners. And I don't know if it's primarily designed, but it's definitely onboarding no coiners to some degree. I actually think that it's actually fairly sophisticated pot of gold. So a lot of people are actually onboarding are actually crypto people. And crypto is not that easy for no coiners. Yeah, I actually think it's mostly onboarding crypto, but definitely will onboard some no coiners in my view. Chris A says, isn't pointing out the fact that Satoshi held all the Bitcoin at launch enough? Should be. I agree with you on that, Chris A. Bonus live stream says, James, absolutely is bonus. You can blame Brennan for that. Brennan is all to blame. In short, in this for the tech, says James, yeah, everyone's in for the tech. Everyone's in for the tech. We're all in for the tech. Put your hand up. Go on, put your hand up. New poll. Are you in this for the... I'm going to do a poll. Let's do that. All right, so we've got 79 votes. Let's end this poll. Let's keep the poll open. I was going to make a joke poll about we're in it for the tech. Crypto A says Vitalik smart, says Chris A. When V3 is released, I'll be on the edge of my seat for mainnet. Well, I think we all will, Brandon. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Scott says Zen going to have a huge community to bring over to Pulsechain for copied mints. I agree with that. Stakes and coins will burn tons of PLS, PLSX, just like it did for ETH. Jack may be done the most bullish thing for PLS. It may end up being, but I think there's a couple others. I would say within the crypto sphere for sure, and I think probably tapping in some of the Asian market is definitely a big plus in there, Scott. So yeah, definitely agree with that. What else there? Jane says, I think he will announce new utilities. This could be the Zen distribution phase. Yeah, that'd be pretty bullish if he can get some brand names. That'd be pretty cool. I do have the game theory around that, says Scott. Scott says, which K4K and others would look at it from different views. Maxi mentality is so 2017. Yeah, well, I think K4K posted a snapshot of this chart and said, look, I saved you from getting wrecked. But of course, we knew this was going to happen in the inflation phase and the short game. So no surprises there. ProHex says, good morning. I think February 2023 Pulsechain launches ProHexer. I like how you're thinking there. We've got 80 votes. 80 votes. Let's end the poll. 80 votes. Let's end it. And of course, we're going to put another poll up there. Let me know in the chat what you think the next poll is. It can be around Zen or something like that, or Pulsechain or Hex. You let me know. Pulsechain launch guesstimate December 2022, 30%. February 23, 30%. Wow. So the Christmas or February. And of course, sorry about the misspelling of February, just so that people don't harass me on it. What else there? We got January 2023, 25%. And November 22, 15%. Yeah, I don't think it's November, so I think that's fairly a good play. Could be, but we're supposed to have a short V3, right? So let's see how we get on with that. Maybe should price the outside late November, maybe. But December feels like maybe the earliest. And February, yeah, I don't think February. I think I'm feeling earlier than later. So yeah, but good poll results. Let's see how we get on. And DB Cooper said, I don't know what aggravates me more, the delays or people that say that they can wait another 2 years if they have to. Now, I don't want to wait another 2 years. I think that Richard's video there just signaled that it's probably going to be sooner than later now that it's going with the ETH proof of stake, ETH 2.0 fork, that's going to be easy. Chris A says ETH 2.0 is the best, better tech than Tweak BSC. Security, 100%, Chris A. It'll be secure, fast, and earlier. It'll be deployed earlier. So I think we've got to be happy with that after the long wait that we've waited for. Brazil says that Pulsechain launches within 100 days. We shall see how it holds up to the end staking flood. That's true, Briz. That's a good point. What else we've got there? Pot of Gold says the shorter time frames mints are being diluted by big time. It says Pot of Gold. Absolutely. That's a really good observation there. Does the free minting stop at some point and then just purchase? It keeps going on for a long time, 8 years, up to 8 years with the amplifier bonus there. So most people end up having to purchase there. What else we got there? Haven't minted this thing, but curious why people are calling it a Hex clone copy. How? Yeah, I don't see it as a Hex clone copy at all. It has got some similar traits to it, like Zen XEN. a few things like that. Does have staking. I don't know if there's some similarities there. But doesn't have this. The gamification is very different. Hex is pretty unique with its gamification. There's nothing else like it out there. Even in any of the clones, nothing like that. And of course, the OA plays a pivotal role in that. I always see it like an operational manager. That's how I always describe it, based on its behavior. So cool. Brendan says, shame that some exchanges minted half of the supply from what I heard. Well, no, I don't know if that's true. All I know is that they had the exchange had controls that on the blockchain. So if we go to the contract, I know someone posted something on Twitter, trying to do that, but I haven't seen that tweet. I'm happy to show it in the Discord if you find it. But the exchange MEXC has the top wallet. So 1, 2. This is people that actually deposit the tokens on those platforms. That's I don't know if someone got confused by that. I'm happy to open-minded on that, of course, if someone's found something around that. But obviously, MEXC, the biggest exchange on there, has 36% in that wallet, 7% in this wallet. Huobi Globi and Gate.io have just launched. A lot of people are depositing their tokens on there. Some of the big early players probably we saw selling on those. So now we've got 3 exchanges leading the front there, and Uniswap, the decentralized exchange. So that's kind of the breakdown there. They control a lot of the circulating supply in there now. Now, obviously, there's a lot of users on there that are trading on the centralized, and of course, they take on all those issues there. But MEXC there.com, that is the first big one that came out. So cool. Huobi Globi there actually attracted quite a bit of stuff on there already. Gate.io there's pretty good too, 5%. So you got Uniswap. There's heaps of Uniswap pairs, and I think there's 6 or 7 or something, maybe 6. So cool. You can actually see another one down here. XEN more. That's Trayvon's more token. I've got a little bit in there, 7 million. That guy's all over the place with it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so cool. What else there? POG says some people knew bots were going to mint. Yeah, laughed when I found out 3 exchanges were the biggest holders. Good luck to those minting though. Well, people deposit on exchanges, right? So that's why they held so much. It's pretty normal behavior. For current crypto people, it is the easiest way to introduce to no corners. Give them some gas and assist them with the max mint. And then they start learning monetary incentive, a bonus. That's true, but it's also true for all cryptos, right? So we do a lot of onboarding in our Discord, not me personally, but we got our moderators that do a great job. Brian and Fat Sammy, KD, and many of the others in here helping out. And of course, it takes a bit of work to, as you know, to onboard people, especially no corners, because it's like it's like smashes their head apart with all the stuff you have to deal with. As simple as setting up a MetaMask wallet or getting a hardware wallet and all the basic security things which you want to do first, right? Then gas fees and buying the right thing and all that sort of stuff, contract checking, and there's a lot to it. All right, cool. What else we got there? ProHexa says now I minted a Zen again yesterday with my test wallet 1. Claimed it today. I did for 387 days. Nice work there, ProHexa. So you can mint again with the same wallet, correct? So, if you think about a MetaMask wallet, for example, which is easy to explain, you have your one wallet with your seed phrase in there. And of course, in there, you can have lots of accounts. So accounts are the Ethereum addresses. You can have heaps, you can create as many as you want in your MetaMask wallet. And of course, you can just use all those. Remember that there are gas fees, though, for minting, for claiming. And then, of course, if you're going to stake, for staking. And of course, don't forget, if you're going to sell, then you've got to approve the token first off, and also do the swap fee. So that would be 4 fees if you were going to play the short game. And of course, at the moment, those short games, 1 day, 2 days, probably not economic at the current price. So you have to think about that. So 2 days probably not economic either at the current fees. Crypto Profector says it's not true. Exchange never mint as people have a lot of wallets. They have a lot of wallets. Yeah. Feel like I minted half the supply, been up all night minting Zen, says James Bond. That's hilarious, James Bond. That's hilarious, man. Unless you copy paste, can't clone Hex. I don't think you can clone Hex anyway. Ideally, you can clone the contract, but you can't clone the Origin account. So you can't do that very well. You need the community too. So you need the community. I mean, you can clone the wallets, but you can't. You can't activate it the way that it's currently run. You have to have a bit of an else to run that properly. So far, it's been pretty good. What is the max amount of accounts you can have in a MetaMask? I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure what the max is. Someone might know that one. That's a good question, actually. 1,000 wallets is ProHexa. Okay, cool. That's a good answer there. Sounds good to me. Sounds about right. Look at that price, 0002375. PLSD had a pump today. It pumped. I called it one of my two probable plays, Hedron, PLSD, so it's not surprising there. Maybe staking is getting closer, says Brennan. That's true. Is it not possible to clone Hex? Yeah, of course you can clone Hex. You can just fork the copy, fork the contract. It's pretty easy. We've obviously got a copy now on Ethereum Proof of Work and Ethereum Proof of Stake there. But of course, you need a bit more behind that, and you need to be able to operate those accounts. So you can fork the contract, but the holders in there. What else there? Let's have a look at a quick look at some of the charts here. So this is we're going to quickly break a little bit away from this and have a quick look at Hex. Hex at 3.244 cents. Maxi at the moment 6.6 cents with a premium over Hex at the moment of 2.02. That's definitely dropped back down there from 2.4, 2.5, and you can see it's pulled back a little bit there. We've got Maxi Team at premium at the moment. So have a quick look at that. It's currently so Team is the DAO token for Maximus at 1.27. It's dropped a little bit. Oh no, it's climbing back up there. It was higher though, 1.42. Hedron, of course, is one of my two probable plays at the moment. Obviously, we're just over a month away from the big auction events. It's going to be a big time. And of course, where's that at the moment? So 3.2. Let me go to the daily on here. It's pretty easy to look at. And we're definitely came back here though. Look at that. Definitely came back. Nice uptrend still. But we're at 377 there. And of course, this has moved early when they Maximus team announced Poly Maximus, which we're going to be talking more about in the days ahead. So I haven't been talking much about that, but we'll be catching up with that one. All right, cool. What else there? And of course, we're going to get to the airdrops. Quickly get to that. We've got Pulse Dodge Coin at $5.21. Good call, Superman. And of course, looking really good. So very nice. And of course, look at that punch out there. So cool. In fact, we talked about this before the punch out. So you would have made some nice dollars. $5.21. Currently the high so far of today, $5.67. And of course, we're expecting probably within the week, probably to have that launch. Just my guesstimate there. Obviously, do your investment due diligence. The weight token there at just under half a penny, almost back into the range of the bottom. And Zen there at the moment. Obviously, we've been following that. But let's have a look at my Spotlight project. BNB pot, the countdown is getting closer. Less than, it's probably about 7.5 days to go. And currently at $10.13. So this little gem. If you haven't checked out my fundamentals on this, it is mind-blowing, mind-bending. So check out my video on BNB pot fundamentals. This is on the BSC chain. Obviously, they had an issue and they had to delay. The team took a very prudent approach to delay the launch by, was it 7-8 days, something like that. And so we're counting it down, about 7.5 days to go. This is going to be the world's first decentralized crypto casino, and I am pumped about it. The tokenomics are amazing. Something like, if we include the team's wallet, something like 67% is pretty much off the market. So about 62% staked and so forth. So this is going to be pretty epic. And of course, it's great to see a good DeFi project on BSC. Now, obviously, these guys are also going to be custom launching on Pulsechain, which was going to be their first target, but they have to wait for that. And then, of course, they're also going to be launching on 3 other EVM chains as well. So it's going to be amazing. Looking forward to that. The world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino as well. So it's going to be lots of fun. All right, cool. Let's jump back to that. That was a bit of a wrap-up of the charts there at the moment. Let's have a look at the dashboard and see where we're at to. We're doing pretty good here. We're doing pretty well. We're rolling. 588,983 on the global rank. And, of course, max term there, 387 days. AMP 2998 and the EAA there at 9.5%. This will go down to 9.4% once we reach 600,000, which we're not too far away from at the moment. So pretty cool. What else? We've got a couple more comments in the chat, so let's get to that. Maybe staking get going. Yeah, Pulse Bitcoin is the dual token system coming from PLSD. If you're wondering why it's on a run at the moment, there's only 6 million tokens as well. So that's pretty scarce for the PLSD token. About Pulse Bitcoin coming down pretty soon. Is it not possible to clone Hex? I think we covered that one. Pot of Gold says that's the whole point. No extra money to lose investing in a coin. They will be receiving it for free. No need to hype them up on becoming a millionaire, says Pot of Gold. True that. And Jonathan Kapala says, good night, y'all. I was put here to help individuals, always following my gut. That's so true, Jonathan. Big shout out to you. And I'm still jealous of your trip with the Secret Heartbeat and Rags Rags and the others there. That was pretty lucky, and I'm sure that they enjoyed meeting you as well. Such a big heart. Jonathan's got a huge heart, and we appreciate him big time. Adan says, and how's that? Hey, Superman, great stuff, champ. I am over this scam fund with Hex, with OG and Supply. Maybe they should go back to Celsius and learn all those scam coins. That's to get over it. People move on. Noops. Yeah, it's true, Adan. Well, we don't worry about it here, but we're just covering the topic because it was pretty interesting. Only 4% of people own crypto globally. Yeah, it's pretty low like that. It's probably about right, that number. We always used to say 2%. Remember that? 2%, but it's probably closer to 4 now. Some people delve into it, but then they don't stay in it. So I think it's like more like 4. I call the top on Hedron. Haha, says Crypto Profeta. Well done, man. Well played. We've done good coverage of Hedron on this channel too. A lot of people made good money with that. Thanks for being you, Superman. You're a real one. Hey, thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Here's a peace sign for you. And Chris A says, Rich Hart says he wants to test the heck out of it first. They say so. I say January 2023, says Chris A. Yeah, so that would be in the middle of the pack there, because what we have December, February. So yeah, January, that would make sense. I personally think Hex is in its consolidation phase at the moment. Hey, you look, yeah, I do too. I think the Hex is going to move it pretty soon. I talked about that in my first live stream. Could be within the next 2 to 3 months. So maybe late November onwards, after the next interest rate rise, that could very well move then. So I agree with you on that one. RH said he wants to test the heck out of it. So we read that one there. Or February, says Chris A. Or March or May, says Chris A. You're just trying to confuse me, Chris A. But I got you. Caught you out there before you got carried away. All right, so cool. Welcome, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hit the share. If you haven't joined our Discord as well, the link's in the video description. Discord is over here, and man, it's cool. Growing nicely. Great community. And of course, we try to make a safe place too for people to learn about crypto as well as get all the information you need. We've got useful links here. This is for everything Pulsechain, Hex, and PulseX, and of course for new tokens, we've got all the new token links here as well. So you got the best of both worlds, and of course the Zen free claim details are down here. So you got all the cool links that you'll need to do analysis and to do your mints and things like that. Pretty cool. Okay, so the price here at the moment, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're getting some, look at the volumes here. So as the price comes down, I notice that the amount of money that people are spending are getting a lot more volume of Zen, which makes sense. But back up here, I couldn't believe it. A lot of people up here didn't realize what they were buying, obviously, because we all knew this was going to come down like this, right? So I'm a little bit surprised. It made me cringe a little bit. I do feel a bit upset for people that were buying all in here. Big thousands of dollars of this going, oh my goodness, you clearly don't know what you're looking at here, and so forth. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. So that's pretty much it at the moment. And of course, if we look at the liquid, look at that. I mean, that's how much liquid's out there floating around. So it's a pretty, that's the game, right? That's the game. All right, cool. Now, quite a bit of it's in exchanges now, of course, as we just looked at. Quite a bit is in the exchanges. Where did we go to exchange here? We looked at that. Quite a bit is in the exchanges here. Was that 30? Let's add to that. Let's add it up, eh? Let's add up the top centralized exchanges. 36 plus, 7.5, say, plus 7 plus 5. And I think that's it. So what we're going to do? Yeah, 5. So that is that's not right. How did that come in there? Add something else in there. 36 plus 7 plus 7 plus 5. So yeah, 55, 56, probably 56% is in the centralized exchanges. So one for every 2 a liquid Zen is sitting on exchanges at the moment. No surprises there. And of course, Uniswap is coming in just behind that with probably 7 or 8% in there, something like that. And the different pairs, we've got different pairs here. So probably 7 or 8% in that. So what does that make it? 2/3. That's a lot, man. 2/3 on the exchanges and stuff like that. So pretty cool. And everyone else has got the liquid one. So our top this wallet here has got 111 million in it. Oh, OMG. So what they've been doing in here. You can go through these wallets and check out, see what these guys are doing. Looks like some multi-calls here accumulating this volume. So looks like what they've been doing. $5,800, bought 18.5 million there. This was an hour and 41 minutes ago. They had a top holder. So there we are. People buying. This one here looks like they just bought multi-calls, all multi-calls and have been buying up. So interesting there, the number one wallet outside the exchanges. So you can actually go through a lot of these top wallets and see what the big liquid players have been doing through here. What's this one number? This one here. Lots of Uniswap buys coming in here, accumulating. So wow, okay, impressive stuff going on there. Throwing thousands of dollars. Wow. Okay, cool. That's what's happening. So I don't know who those players are, but that's what they're doing. All right, what else? We've got a couple more comments in here. Dan says Hex has the greatest ecosystem coming. Oh, it is. It's crazily good. And some people are complaining about supply, and Richard just looked at what Hex has done in the last 2 years, 10,000x. If you can't get that, then FOMO out, people. There's a Dan. I think people will get it, Dan. I think people get it. Ryan says, what is your price prediction on Zen 8 years from now when you can only mint 10 Zen per day? I have no idea, Ryan. No idea. Anybody that gives you a price doesn't know what they're talking about. So no one knows. That's pretty crazy, Ryan. You should know that, Ryan. Not sure if anyone knows that at this point, Ryan. Yeah, I agree with that one. Too early to speculate. Yeah. All right, cool. Any model that anyone makes is going to be completely wrong. So there we are. All right, cool. There we are at the moment, 0002359. That is where we're at the moment. The Gwei's come down a little bit at 25. And of course, we're sitting, let's see how close we are. We're getting close to 600,000 wallets. Pretty crazy stuff there. Let's have a look. 590,000. Woohoo! We've got 300 max term there, 387 days. We're only 13 days away from the 400. So we're getting closer to the max term. And we'll probably get a bit of a rush there, maybe. Get a bit of a rush, people, at 400, that max term, to get the max term out of it. So it'll be pretty good. But of course, we'll have the EAA, the amplified. This EAA will be lower by the time we hit that. That's probably, I don't know, what do you reckon? 3 days away, 2 days away? 2 days, 3 days. Yeah, and obviously the lower the gas price, then the more likely it would hit that faster. Maybe within 2 days. That's another 410,000 wallets. So see how we get on there. Yeah, I didn't expect to see much staking at the moment. Obviously, the first 90 days, you get 20%, but of course, you're probably just better off minting at the moment and getting all those wallets coming in behind you. Man, this wallet, we got this. It's going to end up being millions of wallets, right? But probably I don't know if it's going to slow down particularly. We might get to a couple million wallets. Maybe it slow down after that. We'll see how we go. Maybe that was a good poll question. Do you think the wallets will slow down there? But Dan says, hey, Superman, I was hoping to talk to you direct about issues, champ. If you can help, please let me know how I can get in touch with you, champ. Hey, the Discord, Dan, the Discord, that's what the Discord's for. So jump in the Discord there. We've got all these chats, Richard Hart chats. If you want to talk about Richard Hart projects, if you want to talk about new token chats, get in there. Now you can, friend, once you join, you can friend me and DM me if you've got something particular that you want to talk about, and get in there. And we've always obviously got all these cool moderators. We've got Brian and Fat Sammy and other people that can help you do a lot of stuff too. So, but if you want to talk to me, that's a good place. The link's in the video description. Pot of Gold says, I suspect Zen will be the next Dodge in the sense unlimited supply, but with game theory, all major exchanges will be listing it eventually. Fair launch approach sells it well. Yeah, I think we're already seeing a lot of good exchanges, Gate, Huobi there, and of course MEXC. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that. When Hex hits $100, I think everybody will forget about how much Zen they have. Well, it's true too, Brennan. Hex is going to absolutely bull run. And I think it's probably not too far away. It could be within 2 or 3 months, maybe within earlier time frame. Chris A says definitely no later. I think that's true. Adan says all good, champ. Cheers. I'm in your Discord. Will do. Thanks, Legend. Hey, you're welcome, Adan. Definitely no later, I think, says Chris A. That's true. I had to pick 1 month. I'd say January 23. Yeah, that's true. All right, cool. We're coming up to now 15, folks. I'm going to do one more wrap up, and then I'm going to end the live stream. Hope you guys have a good time. I will be back on again tomorrow, of course, for another live stream. And of course, I'm going to make my dinner. That's pretty much what I'm going to do there. Let's have a quick look at the results at the moment to wrap things up, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed some of that cool content. And 590,702 in the global rank. And this is the key metrics we're on at the moment. This one here, EA, is going to go down. We're only less than 10,000 away. This is going to go down 9.4. That's pretty cool. And the price at the moment, still sliding down. This was to be expected, so we knew this was happening. Unfortunately, a lot of people on exchanges didn't know what they're trading, but here we are at 0002355. We can see in the wallets that we had a lot of large whales accumulating. So they've got all that stuff now. The Gwei's definitely come down. Look at that. Woohoo! We get some more minters at 20 Gwei. I don't know if I've seen it that low for a little while now. And of course, we've got the Zen contract there at the top there. Look at that. 33% of the gas fees in the last 3 hours. And that same 34% over the last 24. So Zen is still ruling the gas waves there. And the Gwei has come down. So it's a lot cheaper to do minting. Probably get down to, I don't know, what do you reckon? $4.50, something like that. It's definitely getting down, maybe $5. So it's definitely getting cheaper. If you want to check out all the stats, these are pretty interesting. You have to do a bit of interpretive analysis there because some of them are a little bit, some of the wording and stuff, you have to just think about what it's actually trying to tell you. Some of these are fairly reasonable to assume, but you've got to make the right interpretation there. But there we are. That's pretty cool. You can find all these links in the Discord, of course. The white paper as well is in the Discord. The calculator is in the Discord. And, of course, Jack Levin's Twitter is also in the Discord there. And, of course, if you want to watch the full video of his Twitter space, then you can watch that link as well. I'll post that in the chat there so you can check that out. Very, very cool. All right, where else there? We've got a couple more comments. Yeah, if you haven't checked out hex.com, check out hex.com, of course. Check out pulsechain.com. And, of course, if you have not got involved with Zen Network, make sure you do investment due diligence. For me, it's just more of an entertainment, more speculative play. Obviously, some people are looking forward to the future of it. And it may do well. It may do well, but for me at this stage, it's really just a fun network project, and it's doing extremely well on the network effect, which is pretty interesting to observe. We like to see some of these things in crypto. It really is a place of innovation, so it's fun to see it play out, and it will be copied over to Pulsechain, which is pretty cool as well. All right, so let's finish up some here. We got what else there? A Pot of Gold says, "Oh, Hex is a no-brainer. Always have been." That's true. And Katie says, "Thanks, man. You're welcome, Katie. Night all. Peace. Cheers for coming live again for me, Brennan. Hey, you're welcome, mate. You called and I answered, and here we are." James Bond says, "I need a minting bot." You do, James. Don't. You might wear out your hand. What the hell? Mint. All right, cool. All right, take care, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in Discord. I'll be there. So I'll see you there soon. Bye for now. Take care.